that you're not sure if anyone is on board and communication seems to be down. Okay, so the risk here is that if we go on the ship, we may lose a crew member. But we're going to take that risk, and it looks as if the ship ran out of fuel and the crew ran out of food not long after. Despite the grisly scene that remains, you find one surviving crewman locked in the freezer, almost perfectly preserved and apparently overlooked by the starving crew. So welcome to our team, Brian. We're going to put you on shields. It doesn't come with any skills already. And one of the things these guys will do is develop skills over time. And I found it's actually best to just get them in there and stick with them, and not to buy crew members, but to find them like this randomly. That way seems to work well, because by the time you hit the end, these guys will probably be fully skilled up. So we've got one on each of the core systems now, which is actually a really good start. So we can jump to our next destination. We're going to go to this one, then maybe to that one, and then make our way out of there and towards the exit, because the pursuing fleet is going to be after us very soon. Right, so on to the next jump. By the way, each jump takes up a piece of fuel up there. You have 14 of those. So you detect an automatic rebel scout attacking a small refueling outpost. Intervene to defend the outpost or avoid the conflict. Now, my strategy in this game that has been successful is to just fight constantly. I like the combat system, and getting into fights is the way to go. So we are going to pretty much take on every opportunity we can to get into a fight, unless, of course, the ship looks like it's a lot stronger than us. So detecting the higher threat, the automated ship moves to engage your ship. Okay, so we're going to continue. Now we're going to pause quickly and arm up our weapons. Using pause in this game is a very big thing. We're going to target their weapons because they don't have a shielding system, and we're going to hit it with our missile as well, just because we don't want to take too much damage early on. And we only have 8 missiles. So you saw there that it broke down our shields, but it didn't do any damage, and now the thing's completely destroyed. So that was a quick and easy fight. We get 2 missiles, a drone part, and some scrap, which is good. So continue. Now that is nice. The outpost hails you after the scout was destroyed.
Thanks for the help. We've been harassed non-stop by those scouts. Take this on the house.
So more scrap, fuel and a rocket, and a breach bomb Mark II. Now I have not seen this weapon before. It ignores shields, that's good. It uses 2 energy bars and a missile. And the possible effect is breach. I think that's where it creates a crack in the hull, and then the oxygen will drain out of that area, which can be very effective. So we will look at trying that later on, but for now we are going to jump to the next beacon. And we can probably afford to go to this one before that one. You can see the rebel fleet is now marching. So we will go to this one. Okay, what at first seems to be a simple nebula is actually filled with a good amount of debris, that's not how you say it, from a brutal exchange between several ships. Wreckage drifts by your screens and tumbles into the depths of the nebula to be lost to sight. It's hard to determine who the combatants were without closer investigation. We will investigate the battlefield. As always, there's an element of risk here that something bad might happen, like hull damage. You scan the battlefield and find little remains. Disappointed, you prepare to jump. So, neither good nor bad, just a waste really. We will go to the next beacon. And what awaits us here? Nothing. Nothing but empty space. Fair enough. So, 2 empty ones right there. We want to go to this one. Again, we'll get a good look at the beacons around us and maybe find a stall. Now this isn't good. We want to get out of here as soon as possible. There is solar flares in the background, and you can see the sun, and they can do a huge amount of damage to your hull, and early on this could be pretty bad. So the beacon is placed too close to a supergiant class M star. The ship will gradually overheat until you get out of here or die. A pirate suddenly, apparently oblivious to the danger of the sun, moves into engage. I don't know where I saw suddenly. It's apparently. Anyway, let's continue. So we actually want to get out of here. And I'm just thinking about what to do. In fact, we're just going to attack and take down those shields. See, we could put, we're going to take off the med bay and get our FTL drive recharging faster. So, let me explain a little bit about the game. When you're in combat, you've got the FTL drive up the top here, and it needs to charge up, and that's done by having someone on the helm of the ship and the engines being powered as well. And they are offering, this is good, they offer you some cargo if you let them live. We will accept that offer because we want to get the heck out of here. So now we have to have our FTL drive. I just got a pop up on my screen. Let's close that. Go back to the game. Hopefully I didn't interrupt the recording. And now we can get the hell out of here. Let's jump right before that solar flare. We're going to go there and then to the distress one. And that was pretty lucky actually. We got a little bit of scrap and we didn't get damaged. So you discover one of the rebels' autonomous scouts. The ship's AI wastes no time in engaging your ship. And the ship starts to power up its FTL drive. It gets away, it will no doubt warn the fleet of your position. I've never really let one of these get away before, and now that I'm reading the text, you know, there's a lot of text in this game, and once you play it a few times, you tend to not read it as much. But if we don't kill this guy, he gets away, then I guess there's a serious negative consequence to that. Let's bring our medbay back online. Good to have that just online, just in case. We're going to target its shields, and actually what we're going to do is target it with just a missile, which will go through the shields, whereas the burst laser tends to break it. So once the shields are down, we will fire on their weapons, so they can't hit us, like that. And then the next thing we're going to target is their engines, so they can't get away. And then we should be good. But I think we've got time in this fight. I am a little worried because their drone is taking down our shields, so if their weapons come back online, we might have a little bit of a problem. But it looks like they are a sitting duck at the moment. So we just need our burst lasers to fire. And nice, we won that one. We did pretty good. So, some fuel, a rocket, and some scrap. Not bad. And no shops. So, if we go to that one, we'll be able to see these. If we go to the distress, it'll be those two. I think our path out of here is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Possibly. Yeah, that's pretty much the best way out of here. Remember, we've got to maximise the amount of beacons we visit because we want to get as much scrap as possible. A small civilian ship flies over as soon as you arrive. You're prepared to fight, but they just inform you that they're out of FTL fuel and can't jump. Now, I don't have a lot myself, and if we give them the fuel, something good might come back in return. However, I don't like having this amount of fuel. And I just got this feeling like I want to take the risk here and give them the fuel. And that's probably going to be it, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's pretty good. So each fuel cost about 10 scrap. That's actually going to be pretty cool. Okay, so that worked out well. And now it's time for us to jump. And we have a store. We're going to take this beacon first, just so we can get a little bit more scrap before we get there. And let's see what awaits us here. An especially well-armed pirate ship approaches you. Hand over one of your crew members, and the rest of you can go free. We will never surrender one of our crew to slavers. So it says it's heavily armed. That means we're going to target the shield, and then immediately after, the burst lasers target the weapons. So they charge up slightly quicker, so I find it's good to wait and see what happens here. And now we're going to hit it. Okay, we have taken our first bit of hull damage, and they are offering up a crew member, and I'm actually not going to take this. The reason why is because we've got our 4 guys on the key systems, and anyone else we pick up along the way will probably want someone skilled, which we're not going to get early on, so we're not going to take that offer. I don't think it's a good decision. Now all we've got to do is hit them again. So a little bit of hull damage, we'll repair that at the store. And we've got a lot of scrap. We've gotten off to a good start, and actually, I'm ignoring something important here. Let's get these 2 guys in there. Okay, good. And repair that quickly. And these guys are going to take damage. Always keep an eye over here. I have lost a lot of crew members just to not keeping my eye on this, because when they get down to a certain kind of health, sometimes they just, well, every time when they get low enough, they continue taking damage, and then they die. I think I kind of overcomplicated that explanation right there. And let's send this guy back to his weapons.